So let's check our sound. Can you hear me? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you for your feedback. Good evening, you too. I see pluses, I see yeses. Okay, it means that we can start today's meeting. Today is Thursday, the 25th of July, 2024. I can see we have lots of guests from India and other countries as well. So let's do our roll call as tradition dictates it. So please write the city and the country you're watching this broadcast from. Okay, I see Almaty, Kazakhstan, Pavlodar, Kazakhstan, Prague, Czechia, Maharashtra, India, Alipur, India. Yes, I see lots of partners from India. Slavgorod, Russia. Biswanath, India. I hope I read it correctly. India. Then we have another city from Kazakhstan, Bihar, India, Bishkek. I know that India is a huge country with lots of states. So we have always a very diverse geography that is growing all the time. So today we're going to have a short meeting. I think it'll take us an hour. It should take us an hour to finish it. If someone doesn't have the sound, it's most probably at your end the problem. You have to boost up the sound or check it again because the remaining guests tell me that everything is fine. So today we're going to discuss points that I partially covered during our previous meeting, and I saw active discussion in the chat too. It's about the implementation of the high-speed transportation, namely the testing center for high-speed track, which is most probably be built in the territory of the United States. And I also said that my assumptions were based on the fact that part of the intellectual property, or let's say share-based ownership of high-speed transportation will be different from the one that we probably picture ourselves. So is everyone clear about it? Whether probably you have some questions that have yet remained unanswered from our last meeting, and I will try and explain you the logic of what I said last time. So please tell me first whether you attended last meeting and whether you are clear about the high-speed transportation or you still have questions with regards to the high-speed transportation. But don't worry, we are going to cover it today, and then I will cover the advantages of investing in high-speed transportation at this and string transportation at this stage. And then we will also discuss the relevancy of or how profitable it is to take advantage of the summer's promotion that is currently ongoing. So let me ask you this question again. Is everyone clear about my vision of ownership or the possibility of co-ownership in high-speed transportation? And well, being able to co-own high-speed transportation in future. Or better, where we stand with high-speed transportation. Satish Kakade asked a question. Let me have it Google translated. So Satish gave us an extract from the development stages of Skyway Group companies. Okay. Well, I can see that some people have still need clarification. So someone is asking, why do you think that intellectual property of GTI and a number of other know-hows of string technology included in the authorized capital of GTI is not related to the construction and co-ownership of high-speed transportation as well? Well, I see from your questions that we still need clarification here. And let's start, from the beginning. Originally, the intellectual property of Unitsky, or it was evaluated and used as the foundation for the global transport investment company. And it was evaluated at $400 billion, which includes three different areas: the urban, cargo, and high-speed transportation technology. And we know that the company split the implementation of its technology into 15 complete or full-fledged stages, of which we were able to decently go through, well, in terms of scope of work. 80% of work was completed. Well, it's a relative number. It's like a tentative number, percentage-wise. As for the three different areas, they were incorporated, two of which have been already implemented, because urban and cargo transportation and everything around it has been certified, and the company is now working on the implementation of the commercial projects using urban and cargo transportation. As for high-speed transportation system, so please, dear friends, colleagues, and partners, tell me, how much did we see of that component during the entire period of the implementation of string transportation technology? And let's use real talk based on facts and not assumptions or like future implementations. So what elements of the high-speed transportation have we been able to see so far? So probably someone witnessed it with their own eyes, probably someone touched it, someone maybe was inside it, the small element of the high-speed transportation system. Alexander said that they manufactured the prototype of the high-speed transportation, and he nailed it. Indeed, what we only saw the prototype of the high-speed vehicle or means of transportation. And out of the entire amount of money raised over the entire period, of crowdfunding, out of the entire funding period, only the prototype was made using that money. And the rest of the money was mainly used to implement the first two components, which is urban and cargo transportation. And now the company is actively implementing those transportation types in different countries and regions. And Oleg says, I haven't yet seen the cargo transportation. Well, didn't you see containers being transported using cargo string transportation in Sharjah? Lots of tests have been run, and it's not just like text and pictures only. There are videos of actual containers, cargoes being transported. Someone says, it's not a full container. Well, it is a full container, actual, real container. There are different container types, There are, depending on their size. So the container that you saw in the video is an actual container. This is A. B, in the territory of Marina Gorka in Belarus, the first cargo transportation was first showcased like 4 or 5 years ago. One of the types of the transportation system, cargo transporting system, using the string transportation technology. So, Oleg, I can't agree with you here. The cargo transportation technology, the branch of the cargo transportation technology, is now a viable technology, and it's beyond contestation. So I would like to continue my train of thought. Talking about the high-speed transportation system, in order to certify it and to bring it to the same level of implementation as is the case for urban and cargo transportation system, which the orders for which are already being placed from different clients, both cargo and urban. For that, we need to build at least 25 kilometers of track. Then we have to create several types of rolling stocks. We saw the prototype. Yes, it's operable, it's working, it's aesthetically pleasing, but it hasn't been yet tested at high speeds, which it is actually intended for, 300 to 500 kilometers per hour. And for all of that, a lot of work still needs to be done. That's why not so long ago we saw a video from Anatoly Yunitsky recorded in the United States, where Dr. Yunitsky expressed the intentions of the company to implement high-speed transportation complex, a technological platform which would showcase the high-speed transportation in the United States. And it is quite logical and possible that this type of the high-speed transportation system will be funded not only from crowdfunding, but this particular area will also involve big rollers, like big investors, institutional investors, and we can participate in it as well. However, Well, let me rephrase it. High-speed transportation is to be implemented in the United States of America currently, and most probably it's going to be funded using a completely different principle, a completely different category of investors. This is what we need to understand. This is A. B. So right now, what we know is that high-speed transportation will be a individual area, separate area. And now let's go back to our realities that we have right now. So currently the company has two ready products in the commercial sphere, which is urban and cargo. And even having those two products, the company now stated that it was going to use the profits from the implementation of the commercial projects to pay dividends. And here, without even the third area, high-speed area, we can already benefit from the first two. So we split it into different groups, high-speed and what we have right now, cargo and urban. So if we take the entire amount of money raised over the entire period, then only a handful, very small part was used to fund high-speed transportation, which is probably 1.5% out of the entire money raised. So now let's imagine that the third area, the high-speed transportation, is being implemented in the new settings, in the new territory, using third parties' money. For example, institutional investors or high rollers' money, big investors. And our question to you, if we only funded 1 or 1.5% and only a prototype was created using that money, can we really claim to be on the same level as with other big-time investors? So how can Anatoly give to someone more and to someone less if the high-speed transportation will be funded using completely different money? So I think the company in the near future will do some restructuring in order to make this particular process legally fair, transparent, and avoiding any kind of contradictions. It doesn't mean that we are cut off. We should just moderate our expectations here. We will be part of the process. We will get part of the pie, piece of the pie, but we will not be like in the same way as in the cargo and urban transportation, just because of how much money was used to invest it in this particular branch of string technology. But again, guys, this is my subjective opinion, and I had to express it because this issue was raised a couple of weeks ago in the chat, right after the video published by Dr. Unitsky, and then I expressed my opinion during the last meeting, which caused some stir in our chat. And now we continue this topic. So what we need to understand here is that we currently funded specifically cargo and urban string transportation systems, which now have physical manifestations, which is, again, urban transportation and cargo transportation. Whereas for the high-speed transportation, we haven't invested a penny yet in the actual implementation of the project. What we did, we invested in the creation of the prototype. My sponsor, someone says, Lydia, told me that at the initial stage back in 2014, 2015, some oligarchs offered money to Dr. Unitsky, but he refused. He rejected because he wanted that transportation to be for everyone and not just for the rich people. But again, I'm not sure it's relevant whether this transportation, whether this comment is. I'm not sure it's relevant. Still, without this transport, without customers, will this transportation be available to everyone? No. We need clients. We need passengers. Well, as for big investors at different stages, different negotiations have been held. It was just a matter of what they demanded, those investors. Some wanted a bigger share of the pie in the company, which could lead to Anatoly losing the control package or the control over the company. But this is not the point of our today's discussion. So Oleg says that the early investors will be receiving dividends from cargo and urban transportation for 100% and just a small part from the high speed. Well, imagine now a big investor comes in ready to invest a lot of money in high-speed transportation, hypothetically. So an investor comes who is ready to invest the entire 100% of money into high-speed transportation, into the creation, development, construction of all the facilities, the tracks and everything. So imagine he invests enough money to design, develop, test, certify, upgrade the high-speed transportation. So do you think what share do you think he should receive in the high-speed transportation system? This is question A. And question B, if that investor comes to invest in high-speed transportation and we, as crowdfunding, already implemented urban and cargo transportation, will that investor claim any rights to the cargo and urban transportation? What do you think? Alex says he will receive a bigger share in this case. A bigger share in what? Here's my counter question. Will that big investor have any claim to everything done over the last 10 years, namely urban and cargo transportation? Someone says, I think there shouldn't be any monopoly here. Well, it's not even about monopoly. Thing is that at the current stage, someone says that shares relate to the entire string transportation. Not entirely correct. The stages that we already passed through, during those stages, we implemented urban and cargo transportation, and we haven't implemented high-speed transportation. And if high-speed transportation becomes a separate area, then it would be logical that we will get a certain percentage in the high-speed transportation, and then it will affect the size of our dividends from this third area. But it should not give us any grounds for disappointment or disillusionment. We have 10 years behind our shoulders supporting the creation and development of string transportation technology. Now we are at the point where the company is on the verge of putting into life actual projects worldwide, dozens of projects. And we know about it. So what is more beneficial to us right now to put more efforts into continuing to help and support what has already been created and then wait for our dividends that are not far away. And I'm sure that we have way less time to wait compared to how much we've been already waiting for. So to make assumptions and argue about what will be our percentage and how it's going to be, I don't think it makes any sense. There is any point in doing it. I just shared my thoughts as food for thoughts for you. And I also wanted you to moderate your expectations. You know what they say, in order not to be disappointed, do not have over expectations. Remember, many of us thought that capitalization would happen in a certain year, or the company would go public on a certain year because people made assumptions. And then people hoped it would happen and it didn't happen. And there was lots of negativity. So my advice is for you to avoid negativity or disappointment or misunderstandings. Just try and adopt my point of view, my understanding of things, of how it can be in the near future. And that's why I'm expressing my opinion. That's why I think I'm entitled to making such assumptions, have the right to make some exceptions. And I think that in the near future, there will be dedicated news published from the company, how it's going to be. And there will be also understanding how high-speed transportation complex will be implemented. The R&D center, the technological platform is going to be in the way Anatoly wants it to implement. And we will have understanding of it. And as you can see, Dr. Initsky is working hard on it. But as for the investment, crowdfunding, and everything that relates to the clients of our platform, I am obliged to tell you the way I see it, how it's going to be. And I said it last time, I can repeat it today, and I would like to focus on it. Last time I said it, and it caused certain emotions and questions. And today I wanted to highlight it again and try to explain what and how. And I'm sure, friends, there will be still questions. Some of you will still have questions left. Not everything is clear, but let's wait for the official statement from the company on that regard. And then we'll have facts to operate with. And then I'm sure all the questions will be answered then. So are you okay with this procedure? We had some little discussion here. We tried to do some guesswork, see and picture what this process is going to look like. But let's wait for the official statement from the company, and then we will talk about it again. And you can please write your feedback, your opinions in the chat. Meanwhile, I will translate some of the comments that we have. Lucky One says, if I understand correctly, if we don't have full ownership of speed transport, that's not fair to early investors. Well, look, friends, it's not, I didn't say that we will not have any ownership. We will surely have some ownership, but it cannot be 100% ownership. Like we cannot own 100% the cargo and urban transportation. I'm talking about the intellectual property. For example, if a big investor comes right now and invests money in high-speed transportation, invests the entire amount, they still cannot own more than we do. because we've been supporting this technology for 10 years, and we've purchased most of the shares at the previous discounts. So this new investor cannot own more than us taken together. It's not logical. And it works the other way around. If they will be, this investor, a group of investors, will finance the new company for the high-speed transportation, if they become the predominant investor in high speed, they cannot claim to the shares that they cannot claim a bigger share in the urban and cargo transportation, and the other way around. We cannot claim bigger shares than the big investor in the new transportation, because the money that we invested and raised was used to create the prototype only for the high-speed transportation. So this is the logic behind it. It works both ways. So let's wait for the official news from the company and not engage in speculations. Svetlana says, every time you use a lot of words, Maxim, and never give any clarity. You twist words, etc. Well, Svetlana, I can give you the floor, and let's see how you manage, because people often have good feedback about my webinars, but you are entitled to your own opinion. And I can try and give you the floor and see if you can fare better than me. Of course, there are always ways to do something better, but let's see if you can manage. Okay. Friends, right now we have less than a week left until the end of this month. And I would like to remind you that currently we are running a promotion, which is about to end. I'm talking about the discount, which is almost double the current market discount that we have. And its discount for $1,000 package is 60. The $5,000 package gives a 77 discount, x 77 discount, which is almost double the discount we had before the promotion. So we always have several options, friends. You can be an active, take an active position or a passive position. Well, most of us right now probably are passive investors, because we invested in the development of string transportation technology, and now we observe how it develops. And what we can do, we can increase our investment portfolio by buying more packages. But you can also take an active position. And by taking an active position, you need to act as an active agent in the partnership program that we have on our platform, on our website, by inviting your people you know, to the presentation, by sharing the information that you have. You can tell them that they have an opportunity to support an international company that goes into the market, and show them the achievements that the company has by this moment. And I think there are lots of achievements that the company can boast of. And all those, you can show them all those advantages, and show them the lucrative opportunity of jumping in the last car. Because if we go and compare it to how it was 3, 5, 7 years ago, the technology made huge steps forward, and the results that we have today just give people an opportunity to reduce the waiting period until the capitalization. And I've mentioned it on numerous occasions that people who invested into the technology 5, 7 years ago, some of those people have been waiting for 5, 7, even 10 years. But those who become co-owners of the technology today will have to wait wait less time, much less time than we had to wait. So I'm addressing our active partners right now. Get involved actively. Invite partners, your relatives, friends, people you know to our presentations. We're going to have the next presentation on Saturday, 6 p.m. Kiev time. We will have a presentation of the technology, of the crowdfunding platform, our platform, and then we will help you make your guests clients of our platform. And for that, you just need to make few simple steps. I'm sure you have people with whom you shared information about string transportation technology and they didn't become partners. Probably didn't have enough arguments, enough proofs by then for them to make a decision. They had doubts. Now show them the annual report for 2023, the video where Dr. Unitsky, together with the CEO, with Nadezhda Kosareva, they make a summary of 2023. And it's not just a report for 2023 only. It's a report about the entire period because it's a result of many years of work and labor. And that video, in my opinion, says it all. You need to know if you want to make a decision, if you haven't yet made a decision. And this is how you can give the opportunity to a person to familiarize with the information and then invite them to the presentation. During the presentation, they will receive a more detailed description of the technology itself, the investment opportunities, and then those people will be able to take advantage of the current promotion, the current increased discounts. So come to our Saturday's presentation yourselves and then invite people who are not yet clients and investors, who are not clients of our platform and who are not yet investors into the string transportation technology. And right now, I was talking about your old prospects, people that you already shared information with in the past, but they didn't join. But also just think, dear friends, about the discount times 60 or times 65 or times 70. It's literally X. Mathematical X is by the factor, by the multiplier by which you can increase your invested amount. So when it says discount 60, it means that in the near future, that's the times by how much your investment amount can increase. Right now, in the real sector of economy, there aren't many such investment projects. Well, in crypto, probably yes, you can get such access. The coin can skyrocket, and then after such high access, it goes down again. But of course, it's not the real sector of economy. It's a digital money market. It's different. But talking about the string transportation technology, there are way more reasons or signs that your access, the investment amount will be multiplied by this number in the future and even more. And I will talk about those factors, about those reasons and signs why it will happen on Saturday. So please come yourselves and invite your friends, relatives, people you know, because if you are an advocate of the string transportation technology and if you are an ambassador of this brand, then it is very important for us to continue supporting this project because at this stage, crowdfunding is still the main source of funding of this particular project. Of course, the management also should be given credit and the sales team that sells the technology in the global market because the company is now gradually achieving its self-sustainability to achieving its profits. course, they deserve the praise as well, but it wouldn't happen without our assistance. So we need each other. They wouldn't get their results without our support, and we wouldn't be able to see all the achievements without their hard work, and we wouldn't have those chances for very good capitalization. So I invite you, dear friends, to our presentation on Saturday. Invite as many people as possible so that we could work as a single team until the end of this month to get to take the best advantage of the current promotion that we have on our website that will last until the 31st of July. Okay, dear friends, as promised, this meeting was going to be short. Thank you very much for coming to this particular meeting. I think those who wanted to hear me and understand what I was trying to say did understand and heard me. So let me do a recap. Everything related to high-speed transportation, its implementation and its development, I'm sure there's going to be an official statement from the company. What I was saying today, I was doing today is just expression of my vision, my opinion of how it might go, of how it might develop. So I just tried to make you understand that you should not picture yourself like you should not engage in pipe dreams here. Just let's be more or less realistic about it. I expressed my subjective opinion, and then we will have the official statement from the company. Then we will have something tangible to work with and discuss about. And we will have a discussion about it, and then we will understand how this particular project will be implemented in real life. Okay, I see you on Saturday at 6 p.m. Local time, and bring as many people as possible. Thank you very much, dear friends. Oleg and other partners whose questions I haven't answered, I will answer your questions next Thursday. We will have more time for our meeting. Please prepare your questions. You can prepare them in advance, or you can write them in the chat. And you can write your questions in the chat and in the comments to YouTube channel. And the support team will not delete those comments if they're not insulting and if you do not cross certain lines, if you do not offend other people. I always read our partners' questions, and today's meeting was all about answering the main question. And the main question was about the high-speed transportation. That's why I made it the main topic of our today's meeting. Irina is asking, where is the chat? So we have a Telegram group. We have more than 10,000 people there. We have Telegram channel. And there is a chat in that Telegram channel with several thousand participants. Ruslan, could you please share the link to our Telegram channel? And Irina, you can follow the link, subscribe to the channel, and then ask your questions in the chat in the Telegram channel. Anatoly says nobody is defending the interests of GTI investors before the parent company, but there is no need to defend our interests because nobody is violating those interests. Our interests as investors have not been infringed upon. What I'm saying is that in the future, the implementation of the high-speed transportation might experience certain reorganization, certain restructuring, and you should take it calmly. It will be implemented with the best interest of our investors at heart, I'm sure. So I'm trying to wrap it up today, to call it a day, but you won't let me. Okay, I will say a few words. We've achieved huge results, all of us together. We've achieved huge results. As a huge community, using crowdfunding, we helped implement the technology that can create an entire sector of economy. string transportation. We helped the company create 2 commercial products because those products were used using the money of the investors. And those 2 commercial products are now about to go into the market because the company has dozens of commercial projects on which Unitsky's team is working. We have those 2 products. We helped create them. And now they're going into the open sea. Well, not entirely open sea, but it will be under the control of a very experienced captain. So we'll wait for a year, probably 2 years, 3 years, until a huge number of clients accumulate. And then profits will start coming in 1, 2, 3 years. And I'm sure it's not going to take long. And then the company will start paying dividends from those profits. And we live, remember, in dozens of different countries. And for the company to be able to pay dividends to all the people from different jurisdictions, the company needs to create a proper legal and financial framework that would allow the company legally to pay dividends to everyone. We are spread across the entire world. Imagine what kind of financial framework the company needs to create to be able to legally pay out dividends to everyone. This is A. B, the company is not going public yet. Now B, the task is to move to the high-speed transportation system. Now we are in the market of a country that has its own laws and its own financial rules and instruments, and this should also be taken into account. And when it happens, of course, restructuring or reorganization should happen. It's completely normal. And then when that restructuring happens, then it will be the task to correctly allocate shares between late investors and early investors. And I'm sure no one's interests will be violated. I'm 120% sure that Dr. Unitsky will not break his promise and towards made to his investors. So please try and understand this. Probably in the beginning of our meeting, I wasn't entirely clear. I did not deliver it the way I should have. Probably I lost the train of my thought and didn't deliver it straightforward. But hopefully by the end of this meeting, in the last 5-7 minutes, I was able to deliver the point, to convey the point, the essence of what I wanted to tell you today, that no one's investors' interests will be infringed on. So thank you very much, dear friends, and I will be waiting for you and people you bring, as many as possible, by the way, who could become our potential prospects, potential clients, partners of our community, crowdfunding community, investment crowdfunding community. So see you at 6 p.m. on Saturday. So meanwhile, think of your questions, ask your questions in the chat, and you can see that I'm as open as possible. And I try to give answers to all of the questions that I'm able to read and have information about. So see you on Saturday at 6 p.m. Kiev time. Bye-bye.